Good morning.
Long time no see, Brandy. It has been all of 4 days?
I know. I miss you.
It was
uh,
it was good to be back with the people at VR Nation last week.
mm-hmm.
A much bigger show than they had the first year. Turnout continues to grow, which is awesome. But the best part is seeing the old industry friends.
Yeah, absolutely. I have missed like conference season last year, basically. So it was great, except for Festival. So it was great to kind of get back in the rhythm of things and hear what's been going on in the industry. So yeah, it was great. And it was great to see you and Will. We had our little GMH reunion.
Just missing one. But
Yeah.
Jamie, we'll see you soon, I'm sure.
Yeah. You can't get all of us in one place at one time where that's not possible.
And it's also tough to keep up who's going where. Brandy's in an airport lounge now, going to Hilton
Yeah.
Head.
Yeah.
Jamie, I don't remember where he said he's going.
I feel like he's going to Europe, right? Isn't he going to Lisbon?
Could be.
No,
Safe
that's somebody
travels,
else.
Jamie.
I don't. Maybe, who knows?
We'll see you next week. Will is going to be joining us momentarily for his victory lap. Last week we had some awesome news for Will's predictions, and we'll dive into that in a second.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's also special news, and that is that it's our 500th episode, which is huge.
That many hands.
And that many hands, and also kind of fitting that like Jamie's not here. Jamie's traveling. I'm in an airport lounge, being like that person. I'm that person in a lounge right now that's talking into a microphone. It's really cringy.
How many people are looking at you taking pictures? You're a star. This is episode
really
500.
I hope no one's taking pictures, but I'm definitely getting some looks.
You will never see them again in your life.
No. Exactly.
They will see you. Well, congrats on 500, Brandy, Will, Jamie, Steve, Sarah.
Yeah.
Everybody,
the whole squad
been involved.
How do you think, you and Will started the show as kind of like a pandemic project. So like, what's kind of a quick like reflection of yours as has like how the show has grown?
Well, I don't even know. I should probably go back and listen to the first couple episodes, but I guarantee you they were awful. Audio was bad. Content was bad. We didn't have a workflow or understanding. But now, like, I don't know. We're starting this show 30 minutes late, which is the first time in 5 or 6 years that we've done that.
Yeah, this is the new time, though. So we have to get used to it.
This is our new time. And I think over the years, Will and I learned where our strengths and weaknesses were, and we're able to add 2 all-stars in you and then in Jamie to help balance and round out the group. And then anyone who tunes into Sarah and Steve, they're pros. They don't need more help like Will and I did. So thank you for joining us in year 2 or 3.
Yeah, so this is I've done 3 full years, or over 3 years. Like now, I guess it's 3.5. And it's interesting because I remember when I started this, and I was just going to be a guest host for a little bit, and then you were like, "Do you want to keep permanently being a guest host?" And I remember being so nervous about that it was live, and then that it was going to be like that I could say something, and then it could just be, I was like, am I going to get attacked for what I'm saying? Like, is everything like cemented, in history? And it's been great. I can tell like I've relaxed more into just coming on and being able to handle things not going perfectly. Like today's a great example. Like we have all these different like external things we can't control that are happening to us. And we're just like, yeah, we're just going to roll with it. And it doesn't, I don't think, change the quality of the show.
Nope. And without further ado, better late than never, Mr. Wil Slickers, episode 500. Bring in the applause for the guest.
Yeah, episode 500. We made it. We made it, guys. How are you doing?
I love that you actually had the applause button just there ready for me. I was kind of joking, but nailed it.
Had to be ready. You
That's
can't.
What producers do.
Yeah, 100%. You can't let your team down. But yeah, man, 500. What have I missed? I'm sorry for joining late. We had some internal stuff happen, as Brandy was mentioning.
Well, we have not let you take your victory lap yet.
Mhm.
We're just about to get into it when Brandy is introducing Plusgrade.
I love it. Brandy, do you
Yeah.
want to keep it going? I'll let you host. Keep hosting.
Yeah, well, we're really excited to have our new sponsor, Plusgrade. Plusgrade helps travel companies unlock new revenue through upgrades, premium experiences, personalized offers across the journey. So from airlines to hotels, they're powering a lot of the behind the scenes monetization, the stuff that you don't really see, but kind of these features that you're seeing across travel today. So you can find the link in our show notes and at plusgrade.com.
I love it. You're such a natural. Such a natural,
Thank
Brandy.
you.
Such a natural.
Well, for anybody who's tuned into the show regularly over the past 2 years, Wil has been predicting, similar to my M&A, Wil has been predicting Expedia and Uber. A much bolder prediction than M&A, and one I quite frankly thought he was a little goofy for continuing to beat the drum, but we got a text last week with a headline that said Uber to add hotels via an Expedia deal. So congrats, Wil.
Thank you.
How does it feel?
Over here.
Yeah, no, honestly, I've been doing a victory lap for the last week, as I haven't been on the show as regularly as you guys, and to see it come later, I would have loved this prediction to have come true during our predictions episodes, but at the end of the day, I'll take late than never. And it's not an acquisition too. I know I also predicted, I think, that Uber was going to buy Expedia as a potential route and option. So, I'll still give myself a half a point less than the normal prediction there, but it's pretty big. I think it's awesome. I think I'm glad that it went full circle for Dara. I think this deal would have been dumb not to do. So,
do you predict? Well, first of all, are you an Uber One customer?
100%. Yeah.
Okay. Will you use this to book travel? Okay.
100%.
I want to see receipts on that. I want to see receipts.
So I tried to use it on the app. It says coming soon for me here in Denver every time I've tried to use it on the Uber app. So haven't been able to actually officially play with it. But the Uber One credit, the 10% credit, like that's not going to be a small chunk. That is a small chunk when you're doing like Uber Eats, right? Like you're ordering a $30 meal. Those Uber One credits are pretty minimal. So that's not something I get really excited about. But the 10% back on a hotel, where it's like $500, $1,000 for a night or a trip, that 10% will go a far way. So I think it's going to be good.
And the exciting part for all of the short-term rental listeners is Vrbo as 300,000 rentals will be added soon. I don't know where the rest of those rentals are going to be. Probably just the connected partners. But 300,000 Vrbo properties coming soon. Brandy, are you going to book your next vacation rental on the Uber app?
No. So here's the thing is that I get it. Off camera, we were talking about how this is actually probably seems better for Expedia. Like if you can book your Uber in Expedia rather than booking all of your travel in the Uber app. And so this is just maybe my current state of mind and the algorithm that I am in, but I'm really tired of signing up for stuff, subscribing to stuff, paying monthly subscriptions. Like I'm in a phase of going through and like cutting things down a lot. So I'm a Lyft person because my credit card has 10 points cash back or 10 points like multiplied with Lyft. So like I literally never use Uber. And so for me, I'm just kind of like, I'm not going to sign up for Uber One. I use DoorDash. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, but obviously I'm one person. So, but I think that the other side, like if you're booking all of your stuff with Expedia and then you can add your Uber to that, I think that's huge. But I know that there are some real Uber loyalists, Wil being one of them, that are super ingrained in the, Uber ecosystem. And so it'll be really interesting to see. I think we give Wil, I'm going to go one step further. I'm going to give you the full point, even though we're not at the end of the year, because it basically happened. They didn't get acquired, but they have this partnership. And now I just think we have to see in the next year, it's like, okay, who did this work better for? Like, did this just like a plus for Expedia as like a little perk you get with booking in that ecosystem, or does this drive meaningful revenue for Uber?
Well, Uber's for sure going to lose money on this with the credit and the discount.
Yeah.
So it's not really a big play. But I was talking to my friend who's in finance, and she does a lot of I don't know exactly. She's a financial analyst, and Uber is one of her clients. And basically, she told me this last weekend, saying like Uber kind of had no choice, right? Like Uber's market cap in terms of ride sharing is dominant. It's still a big player in the eats category against Grubhub and all the other competitors in that sector of I guess ride share service. So they had no choice to really expand into travel, but the thing I really like about this is that because I played with the travel feature when it came out a couple of years ago as like a beta thing, and you had to connect it to your email so they could see your email receipts for your flight and your hotel. But that was great. It was a great experience. And this is what I want to push is that whether this inventory, like the connection with Expedia, the good thing now is that Uber, I think if you book on Expedia directly or if you book on Uber directly, as long as that emailed receipt is going into that proper email box or however, they're going to be able to track this trip for you and make the true connected trip is what I'm excited about, because everyone's kind of putting AI as like, oh, AI is going to do this real connected trip for you. It's like, actually, Uber's been designing this pretty well for a while, and it worked really well for me when I went to Orlando. My flight was delayed, which then told my Uber driver, hey, you don't need to pick up Will in an hour. You pick him up in an hour and a half, 2 hours. I got off the plane. My Uber driver was ready. He knew exactly what hotel I was going to. I had to do nothing. I just had to find the car. So I think the exciting piece of travel is going to make the consumer's experience so much better. And that's what I'm excited about.
Yeah. Brandy and I talked about this a little bit pre-show, but we were imagining this world walking off a plane and straight to your car and going to your hotel.
Yeah.
That's called a taxi. I can walk and tell the taxi I'm staying at the Sheraton in downtown Denver, and they take you there. The thing that taxis don't have is transparency, trust, pricing, route selection, all of that.
Especially internationally, I can see that, like that's where tourists of any flavor get ripped off. So, but yeah, it's like we're coming back to reinventing the taxi.
Which is what Uber wanted to do all along. And Airbnb wanted to disrupt hospitality, and they're now listing hotels. Now, the big winner of all of this is a consistent winner that we talk about over and over and over again. It's Expedia's B2B arm. They are putting their inventory everywhere that travelers are, in every way, shape, and form, from credit cards to directly on the OTAs and the LLMs, and then now into Ubers and who knows where else, right? They are the shining star within the Expedia Group. They're the one driving the most growth, and deals with a massive company like Uber only are going to continue to solidify themselves as the leader in that spot. And we talk about AI. I'm mentioning it early on the show today, but AI is going to disrupt the OTAs, but Expedia is now several years ahead of it. Even if the LMs disrupt them, they've got their inventory in so many places. They're future-proofing themselves.
Yeah. I'll also say though, right after this announcement happened, we saw Accor also announce a direct partnership with Uber. So Accor now has their listed on Uber directly as well. So Accor specifically, when ChatGPT came out with the marketplace in the App Store, basically they were the first one to go direct as a brand outside of Expedia and Booking.com and all that stuff. So I think this is going to get really exciting for those bigger brands too, like Marriott, Hilton. Like they're not only are they going to have their inventory with Expedia and these other places, but if they can get some of this direct pie, I guess if we want to call it that, it's really a big push for who's going to distribute the most inventory on the most places, who's going to get seen the most. And it's going to be a real big game of, how do you stand out in the feed?
I would love for Skift to do a study on how many sites Expedia's inventory is on? How many impressions does Expedia inventory get a month? Not just on the Expedia platform, but more broadly. So Seth, shout out to you. Let's see the data. Let's get a report.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Skift research. We'll get on it.
One of the interesting things, and this kind of ties back to we were talking about VR Nation up top, and it's like some of the conversation I heard there is about people that we are still having to convince that OTAs are like necessary, or, you know, and there's still this kind of adversarial mindset. People have a view about like what an Airbnb guest. There's some operators like, we do not want to be an Expedia, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, do you realize where that reach is going? And it's like, you are incapable of getting connected to Uber. And even if you got, let's say, 3 visitors in an entire year from that partnership, that's 3 people you didn't get before. That means your product is getting to so many more people. So I think like I did feel like there's still this mindset, and I see this on like a daily basis, where like people still have this animosity towards the OTAs. And it's not that you shouldn't put effort into your direct site and your branding and all of that, but to be like, I'm not going to distribute on Expedia or booking.com or whatever because of this like feeling you have towards the guests that they bring in, or towards it, like they are capable of doing things that we as operators independently are just absolutely not capable of doing at this point.
Yeah. And one more comment, I guess, on that, Brandy. If you're 95% direct, that's also the wrong mix.
Yeah.
You need a well-blended mix with the OTAs.
Yeah.
And the reason is, and we covered this maybe 2.5 years ago, Google changed their SEO and people's direct search fell off a cliff. And if you're 100% reliant on direct search, you can get totally shafted. So you cannot be singularly reliant on any channel. Same with Airbnb. If you're 95% Airbnb and all of a sudden they make some bogus claim and a guest side with the guest, your listing's gone, you have no income. So you have to have a good channel distribution mix.
100%. Couldn't agree more. Well, this is a fun topic to obviously continue to watch. As you know, Brandy was saying, is like, who's this deal better for? Is it going to be Expedia? Is it going to be Uber? I'm pretty sure for now it's going to be Expedia, but at the end of the day, the consumer is going to win once all of this is truly connected. I am 100% believer in that Uber will be the app that does the connected trip better than anybody else. So, congrats to the whole team and both teams. I know I got to talk to some Expedia people last week, and this was a big project. So long time
working on it since you predicted it.
Yeah, I told him, I was like, yo, where's my crystal ball credit? Just kidding. But yeah, this is a good one to watch. So I'm excited to continue to see it develop. But before we dive into our next topic, we want to give another shout out to one of our amazing sponsors at Bilt. Bilt is helping restaurants and hotels with food and beverage teams and restaurants in their property understand their guests a lot better and creating a more personalized experience. As we know, this is the way moving forward. That drive for personalized experience continues to build on repeat guests. So if you care about loyalty and guest experience, it's worth checking out Bilt's hospitality program. So go to join Bilt. That's joinbilt.com/GMH. Awesome. They're a great partner, and we're super excited for what they're doing. But this next one, do I take another victory lap for this, or?
Yeah, you can. I guess.
Airbnb becoming a social media channel. I thought you were nuts. I could see the Uber Expedia one coming together. But here Airbnb is becoming a social media company.
I love it. So Jamie Lane gave us a heads up in our private WhatsApp chat last week that basically Airbnb is moving their Facebook host groups into the Airbnb platform, and he gave us picture proof. So welcome to Host Clubs, where now you have a feed on Airbnb directly for your property, and it's I think going to build into some of like their consumer focused releases the last couple of years, where they had like group messaging and some of the more social side of things, where more profiles, more stuff like that. But Brandy, I want your thoughts. I want your thoughts first. What did you think when you saw the news?
Well, first I was like, okay, it makes sense. They have these groups on Facebook and they want to bring them in. And I don't think it's as wholesome as like, oh, we want to create a social media component of the company so that people can be connected. I think it's a way easier way to monitor what's happening in there, because they monitor what you can type on like in those groups. And then also one of the reasons those Facebook groups are so successful is because people are on Facebook. And so it's like, are they going to be successful? Like, are people going to log on? Like, and what's going to stop people from just starting another Facebook group?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because anyone can do that. So I think it makes sense why they want to like keep controlling as much as they can control and like bring things into the ecosystem. But it's like, are people actually going to use it in the same way that they were before?
Are they going to censor? Of course, they're going to censor what's said on there.
Yeah.
They're not going to let other vendors on there. I would be cautious of like posting negative stuff, because they could very well block your listing. We've seen crazier things happen. So careful what you post in Airbnb's new social media channel. I think this kind of runs opposite of them going and signing up hotels. This is another good thing to build a community of individual hosts that don't know what they're doing and can use some education and be taught by other hosts and get some useful input. What a lot of those Facebook groups turn into is bashing or bad guest stories, or probably things that Airbnb just doesn't want out there that could potentially hurt the brand. So they're going to bring it in-house and control some of the discussion. Now, controlling the discussion in an educational way, I think, is great. There needs to be standards and education in the industry, particularly at both ends of the spectrum, but particularly at the individual host. If you're brand new to doing this, there's things you need to learn. And I think a group like this can do it. But are people actually going to log in, check their feed daily, doom scroll, look at photos, right?
Here's the thing about both the Uber story and this story. It's going to take some time for adoption. It's going to take some time for the user that's used to logging to Facebook to rant about the bad Airbnb guest, or the Uber driver or Uber rider who is thinking about potentially adding an extra night to a hotel or booking a hotel separately. It's going to take some time for the adoption of the mindset to even just shift on the use case of the app in itself. So I think they could use this as a great spot, like you were saying, Michael. Like, have some training videos, have some how to host videos. I know they've made those in the past. I know they have educational material on certain things about the platform. Go ahead and use that for now, like that. But yeah, like you're saying, for the doom scroll feed type of approach, it's going to be some time.
But also, I think that's if anyone has anything, like if something happens on Airbnb, like they side with the guest over something crazy or whatever, those Facebook groups are an outlet for people to go on and vent about that. So I don't think that's going, like, people are just going to start new Facebook groups.
It's educational in both directions, right? People educate on the do not do this on Airbnb, the price change, the commission change. So yeah, it's a good point, Brandy. And these groups are just going to get spun back up with someone else in charge.
100%. Well, when I saw this article come out, so this is a new topic, new story. For our listeners, we'll have to keep reporting back on the Airbnb social feed because it's still pretty early. So
yeah, I mean, if any of our listeners are in them, it would be great to hear from people that are in them and like kind of how that's going.
100%. Send your stuff to podcasts@skift.com.
Are you not in those, Brandy?
No, I'm not on Facebook anymore.
Yeah, same. I left Facebook to my boomer parents and all their friends. So,
wow. Yeah. The cool millennials that identify as travelers and not social media folks.
Yeah. 100%. I wanted your guys' take though on this article. So this is a great. Adriana Lee is one of our reporters at Skift that specifically covers the tech side of the industry, and she covers a lot of really good stories. But this article is titled "Investors Bet on OTA 2.0." So yeah, they say and it says some builders aren't there yet. I want your guys' take on this because, yeah, I have a lot of thoughts, and I just don't want to. Go for it.
They're absolutely right. It's not there yet, but it is coming fast. And I think for them to rely purely on trust to win is wrong, because the LLMs are going to know, they're going to learn who's trustworthy and who's not. And they'll also learn traveler behavior of where they prefer to book. Will wants to book through Uber, get some extra credits. I want to book directly with Delta, get my miles, right? The headline is right. It's just only right for the next 2 or 3 months, because it's going to change super fast. Brandy?
Yeah. I think that my response, it's very similar. It's kind of my attitude towards AI right now as a whole is like a lot of the big companies and the talking heads of all these companies have made us are trying to promote that we are already at this like crazy level, and we're not there yet. It's trying to force people to believe a different reality than what they are currently experiencing. And so I totally agree that in 2 months, hell, next week, things could be different. But in this current moment, we're not where the talking heads from all these different companies want us to think that we are. And I also, like, in our little bubble, and we're talking about this in travel and, talking about how AI is going to disrupt our industry and all this stuff. But then you go and you talk to, at VR Nation, another example, like some people are just starting to talk about it, and like barely, or like they know it's coming, but then we're so far away from like this mass adoption or mass impact, because it's just at this top level right now, or people are seeing it and they're like, oh, it's not working well, like we still have to have people do X, Y, and Z, and so they're like, yeah, we'll use it when it's good. So I think this also applies to the OTA conversation. Like it's not where people say it is yet. We still have a little bit to go.
Yeah, if this is what they're saying in closed door meetings at their board meetings, then short these companies. If you're just relying completely on your trust to win long term, that's the wrong move. I made the comment earlier. Expedia is making great moves. They are putting their inventory in as many places as possible. They've built an embedded app with the LLMs. They're making the right moves, but trust alone is not enough. Trust matters, but AI is going to learn the trust just as fast as, and probably know it better than any of us do. And even then, a listing on Airbnb, you can't always trust it just because it's on Airbnb. We had, we've heard horror stories. We had one ourselves in Mexico City, for any listeners, with video cameras inside of a listing, right? Crazy. There was a CEO of a very large company in London that went to check in, and the host was like, oops, I'm sorry, I double booked.
Wow.
Big name. We all know him. So
that just happened at the hotel that we stayed at for VR Nation. One of my coworkers booked a hotel 3 months ago. He got there. There's like, oh, we oversold the conference. And he was like, what? So it happens even to the big names.
It happens in hotels too, of course. But these are things that don't build trust with the traveler. So, anyone who's listened lately knows I'm a big believer in the future of AI bookings. I do think it will disrupt the OTAs. Not entirely, they're not going anywhere, but I do think commissions will have to come down, or market share, or both. And in the end, who's going to win is who has the most data, who's built up a lot of the trust themselves, not just the .com, but actually the reviews and the ratings and the rankings. So those are things that are going to bleed down and matter more than the power of your URL.
Yeah, but we'll also see, because Expedia, this is a story for another day as we're wrapping up this episode, but Expedia launching their iShow Speed partnership, which is a big influencer partnership, which will hopefully we'll see some really good results from. I'm curious to see how that plays. And I love whoever came up with the Expedia domain. Freaking get a pay raise. I hope you get a fat vacation, a fat bonus. That was incredible. Way to execute on that marketing.
Play this clip for your boss.
Yeah, seriously. You're welcome. We'll give you way more public praise. But no, seriously, like, Michael, you're super bullish on the, social media side of things for travel, and attribution is really tough. But if, Expedia and the iShow Speed partnership shows anything on where that's going, I would say that's something to severely watch as well, on top of the LLM type of approach.
Expedia with more B2B through social media and YouTube channels.
Yeah, it's live streaming. Who would have thunk that would have been the route? Yeah, seriously. I was like, damn, we why are we in B2B? We should have created a live stream show for B2C side. Just kidding. But no, it looks like a great partnership. So it's really cool to see where the travel industry is really going with all of this. I think we're watching a lot of cool things happen at once. So it's a good time to be in the industry for sure. And a great 500th episode to talk about it on. So can't really complain.
Congrats.
Yeah. What's up for you guys this week? What's on the docket? Brandy, you're about to head out.
I mean, I am literally going to hang up from this call and run to my gate. So I am going to Hilton Head, and I have not been home for more than 24 hours in 3 weeks. So I am really ready to be home on Wednesday for like a couple days.
I feel you. Hopefully some same old will be the next update we get for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 3 weeks on the road for me. I am pumped about some same old coming up.
Yeah.
So I got at least 2 or 3 more weeks at home. So
nice.
Ready to be in my own bed. No airplanes. All good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I love it.
Will?
Well, it's been it's been very busy at Skift. As you guys all know, we've had a lot of editorial coverage with Spirit closing down last week and all this other stuff. So it's been hectic and busy, but good. And so hopefully for me, same old, no travel yet. But yeah, it's coming. I know I got some trips coming up in June and some in July as well. So stay tuned. But until then, thanks to everyone who's tuned in to our 500th episode. Whether you're a new listener or a longtime listener, liking, subscribing is free, and on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. And so you can also find us on YouTube. Feel free to check out our hotel crew going live this Wednesday as well. But until then, safe travels, Brandy and Goldin. See you guys again next week.